So congratulations, Tina Schmidt. You have won the raffle and you will get one of these Deer on a Snowy Night Copic painting cards. So just send me an email to taffleberra@gmail.com and let me know where to send the card to, and I will do so. So let's get started on the tutorial. So I am using stamps from Hero Art's October 2018 kit, and the first thing I did was stamp the lamppost in the kit, and then I just drew the line that's going to separate the sky from the rest of the scene. And now I'm drawing in like just the very rough outline of the path that I want all of my kind of shrubbery and greenery to rest alongside. And here I'm just on one of the sides, I made a little bit of a mistake. I wanted the path to go a little bit wider, so I just erased the line with my Copic colorless blender. So I'm also stamping the deer from the kit, and then I put a mask over that. We'll start by coloring in the light posts with some varying shades of yellow, and I will do my best to let you know the colors that I used, and I think you can also see them on the side of the page, although there's a little bit of a glare sometimes on the cap. But what I want you to take away from this tutorial, more than just, what are the exact colors that I used, it's, how to use the colors that you have and how to kind of blend them and match them into a scene that's going to be interesting. And what I tried to do with this scene was use several different green palettes in order to make my shrubbery. It would have been really boring to use all of the same greens to make all the greenery in the card. So what I did was I took a few combinations of yellow greens, blue greens, and then just pure green. So I used 3 palettes using those colors, and I just kind of mixed them around in ways that I thought were interesting. And I also tried to mix up the shapes. So sometimes I have like these shapes that look just like grass, and then sometimes I have these scribbled little ovals or weird shapes that are meant to look like bushes. So all this scene really is, it's just a combination of grass looking strokes and then little scribbles to make bushes. And I just tried to combine them and mix them up in a way that would be interesting by mixing both the shapes and then the colors. And here I'm just kind of filling in the greenery. I don't have much of a plan. I'm following a little bit along with the first drawing that I did, although this one ends up being a little bit darker just in the colors that I used than the initial drawing. And the sky is a little bit different, and I'll explain why when we get to the sky, why the sky is darker and why the original painting was so light. So again, I'm just really playing around here. I don't have much of a plan. I'm just kind of, putting the colors wherever I feel like the colors should go, not thinking too much about it, just having fun. Just kind of over and over, trying to make sure that I don't overdo it too much with one color and have one color cover too much of the scene. I think it's prettier when you have like a mixture of different colors and different shapes as much as you can. And I'm just going to keep drawing in that grass. Now I'm going to add BG99 to my bushes and that's going to be the final layer of the BGs that I put on there. The bushes are BG 93, 96, and 99. Those are the colors I use for the bushes. Now I'm just making the little tuft of grass that the deer is standing in, and he is masked off right now, so we're going to have to cover over his feet once we unmask him, but we'll get to that in a little bit. So again, I'm just working on the colors here, just trying to make it look interesting, make it look differentiated, so that we have some like patches of yellow greens, some patches of pure greens, and then some patches of blue greens. And this thing I'm doing here, I'm adding some blue shading to the bushes, and this is something I learned from watching Sandy Allnock's classes. This is something that she'll do from time to time with evening scenes, and it ends up, it's not something you would just think of, but it looks so beautiful. I think it really makes the scenery pop and kind of come to life. And I tried to be kind of sparing with how much I used it. So I only used it on the bushes, and there might be a few spots where there's some blue-green in the tufts of grass. And I'm just trying to cool the blue down by adding some blue-green over it. Now I'm just adding in some BG93 just to lighten some areas up. Still adding some more little pieces of grass, trying to like fix up my edges on the path. Again, I don't really have much of a plan here. I'm just having fun, really. Okay, so now for the sky. So the reason this sky came out so dark and blue is because I started the base layer using the blues. On the other card, I had originally done the sky in cool grays, and then I went over all the cool grays with a second layer of blue, and I actually like the way that looks better. Here I'm going to start with blue, and then in a second you're going to see I'm going to put the gray over it, and then it looks really bad. And like the gray causes the blue to kind of just get kind of splotchy and yucky looking, so then we're going to go over it again with some more blue and then some purple even, and just kind of try to brighten it up and fix the scene as best we can. Okay, so now I'm coming in with the gray, so watch what happens. I actually don't mind how it looks right around the lamppost, but you'll see what happens as we get farther out into the night sky. It starts to look all splotchy. See that? And in about a second, I'm gonna notice and I'm gonna say, ew, and then I'm gonna go over everything with blue. And that's what I'm doing now. So I'm going over it with B37, and then I'm gonna work my way in with B34, and then B32. And then we're gonna do a whole lot of crazy stuff with some other colors in a second too, because I was really trying to get the scene to look like that first card, where I really like the lightness of the sky in the first card, especially the area around the lamppost. But you want to know something? No two pieces of handmade art are the same, and I think we should appreciate each work that we make just standing on its own. And when all is said and done, when I look at both of these pieces side by side, I like them both. They're different, but they're both beautiful, I think. So, okay, so that's all I'm gonna do with the sky. Now we're gonna color in the little fawn, and I'm using E31 and then E35. And E35 is a darker color, so I'm gonna focus the darker color on the bottoms of his legs, and then on his, like his butt and his hind legs, because that's the spot that's farthest away from the lamp and from the light. So he would be darker because he's kind of, hiding a little bit in the bushes. And the front of his body is going to be lighter because it's being hit by the light from the lamppost. Now I'm just drawing in some little spots in the snow to make it look like it's chilly, and to make it look as though maybe there's some snowdrifts, or maybe, I don't know, like a whole bunch of footprints or something, but just to make the ground look a little bit interesting. And I used BG10, B60, and C1, and then I went over everything with a colorless blender just to blend it out. And I'm putting B10 around my edges, like the edges of the path, just to make it look nice and chilly, like it's a real cold, cool night. Now I'm gonna add some white gel pen to the little fawn to make his spots stand out. I thought that the shrubs in the background just needed a little bit more definition against the sky, and so I'm just gonna add in some little some little flicks here and there just to make the scene a little bit more interesting, to make it look like there's different types of grasses involved. I thought it was really interesting. I got some comments from people that this scene reminded them of Narnia. And I have to tell you, that wasn't the plan when I was making this. And I actually looked up like lamppost in Narnia. I Googled it afterwards, and I had forgotten like how much of an important part the lamppost was in The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. I don't think I've watched that movie since I was a little kid. And I remember when I watched it, like, scared me a little bit. I just thought it was the death of the lion just really, really bothered me. Sorry if I gave that away for anyone who didn't see it, but anyway, yeah, I guess this does look like it could be Narnia, so kind of cool that way. So thanks to those of you who commented and gave me that walk down memory lane. So now I'm just going to add some purple to the scene. So I added some B63 and then went over it with BG10. We're going to add some white highlights now, actually a lot of white highlights. So here I'm covering up the deer's paws with a lot of white gel pen just to make it look like he's standing in that little kind of tuft of greenery. And the strokes that I'm going to use are for the grass looking bushes. I'm just going to use kind of straight strokes. For the bushes, I'm going to just put little scribbles on those, and it's supposed to look like snow. Snow and maybe some reflections from the lamppost. And around the edges of the path, I'm going to put some little scribbles just to make it look interesting, make it look like maybe it's some snow there. And then we're going to have some snowy grass kind of sticking up on the sides, and add some more snow to our bushes. And now we're going to fill the sky and the scene with snow. And I probably spent about 5 minutes just dotting the whole scene with just white gel pen to make it look like it's a really, really heavy snowy night. And we're just going to finish that up. And then once we're done with the snow, I just added his eye with a black glaze pen just to make it stand out a little. I'm going to take the painter's tape off, and now we're going to use a sentiment from the Hero Arts October kit. It says, "Let it snow," and I'm stamping that with black VersaFine ink, which is my favorite ink for sentiments because it's nice and dark and crisp. And now I'm just going to add the whole thing to an A2 size card base, putting my tape runner along the card base itself and then sticking the painting right on top. And that is it. So that's our tutorial for A Deer on a Snowy Night Copic painting card. Congratulations to Tina Schmidt for winning the card. Just again, send me an email to the address that was on the screen earlier, and I will get that card out to you. Have a great weekend, everybody, and I will see you soon in the next video.